Welcome to the It's More Than Just Money YouTube channel. We are here at the Polokwane Royal Hotel. We are hosting the business and property seminar with Witness Mdaka. I'm not sure if he does need any introduction.
Hi guys, I'm Witness.
Yeah, so on a normal day, Witness will be the one who is hosting and asking his guest questions. But today, I'm hosting and I'm asking him questions. And I know that the audience here has a lot of questions for him, but I will ask questions that I think our viewers at home, the viewers of the channel, and everyone attending here today would like to know. I will do my best to represent you guys. I'll also just drop in a few personal questions there and there, you know, just to... Yeah, I know some people would like to know whether you are married or not. Some would like to know if you are single and looking or taken. So just to spice things up, I might as well ask such questions.
Okay, that's interesting.
Very, very interesting, yeah. You know, questions about Mjolo, they normally get a lot of traction. We can speak about property, but once you put in Mjolo, the views just go crazy.
Okay.
Okay, but on a serious note, we live in an information age, Witness, whereby there's a lot of information online about property, investment, and business. So I want to know, how do we filter? Because this is a platform as well that contributes to a whole lot of information that is online. There's a lot of misinformation as well. There's pending topics like, is a house an investment? Is buying property an investment or not? There's things like that. There's a lot of information. How do we filter such information so that we get the value out of that information? Also to note that you are a mentor. You are online mentoring people. You mentor people also in a physical space. So how do we make sure that we get the right content and we get the right knowledge, and so that we can apply it properly?
That's a good question, because of course, information is everywhere. You know, that's why I always say that anyone that says, I can't do anything because I don't have the information, they are practically lazy. We live in an information age. But with information being there, one has to choose the one that resonates with them. Maybe the source of the information must resonate with you. I mean, you can have 100 people speaking about the same thing, but there'll be that one person that says it in a manner that you can understand. That is the person that you must actually listen to. And also, not only to them, in my opinion, maybe 3-4 other people that might be saying the same thing, so that you can compare what your sources of information are saying. It's like when you write a research, right? Those of you who've done masters or who've had a research methodology to do, you don't just post one source. You'll have a couple of sources that you've checked for you to be able to have your thesis in place. So that is how we filter information, to say, okay, who's your source? I've got this source, I've got this source, I've got that source, I've got that source. My conclusion out of all these sources that I've had is... So you need to be able to take information and put it in your own words, right? To say, this is what Witness said. This is what Robert Kiyosaki has said. But Robert is American, Witness is South African. They might be saying the same thing, but how do I take that and put it in a manner that I, as so-and-so, understand? Me.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay. I wanted to today to also go deeper into. I will quote some of the things that you like saying. You normally give us a background about yourself and how you got into the property business, and you go a lot into the how part. You know, when we attend seminars or we listen to motivational speakers, you don't like to be called a motivational speaker.
Me, you can call me whatever. I understand. Whether you call me motivational speaker or property guy
Or influencer.
or influencer,
Yeah.
I know I'm witness Mdaka.
Yeah. So you attend seminars, you listen to motivational speakers. They will just give you a highlight of how to be successful or how to make money or how
Let's ask you a question. Let's do this. Did you guys get a highlight today? Was it motivation or was it practical?
To college, yeah, I'm at quite to come further.
Or both, or motivational.
and practical, yes.
So I'm a motivational speak.
Yeah. So basically, that is what we are here for. I wanted to tell us about the Airbnb portfolio. I know we've done a business, you and I, before.
Yes.
Yeah, we have done that kind of business before. But can you just give somebody today who says, I'm interested
To start Airbnb.
how do I start? Give them, just take a few minutes and give them the how part. Because I believe we are as practical as possible today.
Okay. I think the most important thing first is to understand that to do Airbnb, you don't necessarily have to buy a property. You know, people think that because I want to do Airbnb, I must buy a 500,000 rands apartment or a 900,000 rands apartment. Whereas today, after hearing this conversation on Monday, you can go look for an apartment to rent. But the strategy would be, are you targeting people that are traveling for work, or are you targeting people that are traveling for leisure? There are certain areas, no matter how much you want to make it a leisure business, to target that sort of audience, it will never give you that kind of clientele. So you must decide, are you doing the Airbnb for work, or are you doing the Airbnb for people that are traveling for leisure? You can rent that apartment depending on whether the body corporate or the landlord allows you to do that kind of business. So that's your homework. You must find out, do they do that sort of thing in this apartment that I want to do the Airbnb in? What do the body corporate rules say? Who can I speak to from the body corporate to confirm what I want to do? Now, some agents will say, no, the landlord is not going to allow that, right? But you can apply the same strategy you applied a couple of years ago and say, but I'm not going to give you 6,000 rent if your rent is 6, I'll give you 8.
Yeah.
That speaks to the landlord to say, even if I myself as a landlord, I'm not doing Airbnb at my property, but at least I'm making 2,000 rands more than I would have made from a normal tenant that is staying in my apartment, right? But it's also you being able to say, I've got the rent money, I've got the deposit, and just like that, I can start operating my Airbnb. Of course, you must be able to buy furniture.
Yeah.
You must be able to get someone who does interior decor to come stage that furniture. Luckily for me, we talked about collaboration. My partner is good with interior decor.
Yeah.
Right? And for us, the difference was we already had a property investment portfolio. So we just built a new company that only does management of Airbnbs. So that company rents our properties from us.
Yeah.
And operates as an Airbnb business. But that company also must pay rent.
Yeah. And
Main company.
the other advantage as well is the landlords are looking at the property being well looked after.
Yes.
So if there is an Airbnb there, you as the one who's operating the Airbnb, you will make sure that the property is upkeep. Because for your guests, you do the maintenance. So I as a landlord, I'm not worried about there'll be broken lights and broken cupboards and all that, because in that space, you keep the property well. So I think there's a gain for the landlord in that, and also that they get more rental than normal. So the rates can be a little bit higher. So the landlords are not opposed to that. They're actually welcoming that, provided their body cooperates and the regulations allow that.
So there's something that they say in the commercial property rental space, that when you're a landlord to a commercial or a business person, they want to make sure that the property is well taken care of so that they can continue to attract clients. So an Airbnb tenant or someone who's doing short-term rental basically is someone that's operating a business from that property. And I'm echoing what you're saying to say, as a landlord, they'll be looking at that aspect. In fact, I never thought about that. So thank you for bringing that up to say, when you look at that, you realize this guy is going to be taking care of the property because he needs people to book the place. If the wall is dirty, he's going to paint it. If the ceiling is broken, he's going to fix it. Because if he doesn't fix it, then people are going to give him bad reviews for his business. So that's the guy that's going to make sure that your property, and for those of you who are landlords, maybe here, and someone wants to say, look, I want to rent your property, I want to do Airbnb, you just give them the opportunity to do that because you know that guy will even paint your apartment up front. Like when I rented some of our apartments to our other company, we have my company is called Quality Growth International. That's our property development company. And then we started another company called Kanyesa Lesedi Holdings. So my daughter's name is Kanyesa. His daughter's name is Lesedi. That company has a lease with different properties that we have, has leases, right? And it pays rent. But can I tell you, with some of the apartments, before we even give it to that company, it has the responsibility to fix that company. It must fix the units and make it ready because it is the one that is going to be operating the Airbnb. So sometimes before even you take occupation of the property, you fix it. And I'll give another example. Because our model is built in that we were able also to rent properties from everywhere. Someone will be saying, hey, but you're telling people your business secrets. Chief, it's easy to hear something, but to apply,
it's a different story.
Different story.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be there doing it. Understand? And you've got to be applying yourself. You don't just choose any property. You have to check things like location. And be able to determine if you're going to be managing. In fact, that business is management heavy if you don't have systems in place.
Yeah.
You need to be able to automate it, right? And perhaps if you guys are interested in local, I can give a masterclass. What do you think, Chief, to a group of people that will pay you? So we can hold them on the masterclass and take them through. How do they start?
Yeah, so you must never be afraid that somebody's going to steal your business idea or anything like that. Because it's one thing to have a concept. It's a different thing to apply.
Yeah, but you see, we make money from everywhere. Now we're going to have people paying us for an Airbnb masterclass. So with anything, and that's how your eye should be. You must have the eye of opportunity, right? With anything or anywhere where you find yourself, the question will always be, okay, I've given more than I should maybe. But perhaps I can spark some interest and these people would want to pay me to show them how to actually start. Get the right kind of furniture. He can provide interior deco, right? And then Kanyesa said he will make money from there. So I'm not just talking on marketing.
Yeah. I'm glad you actually mentioned Kanyesa because one of the question I wanted to ask you is, you speak a lot about generational wealth and creating trust funds, taking life cover, having a will, and such information. You just mentioned now that your partner Muluko as well has the same interest, hence the daughter's name.
Let's say, and our daughters have similar Kanyesa.
Yes.
Lesedi.
So it shows that you are building a legacy and you are conscious of...
I don't want my daughter to be a slave queen for money. Her father has money. She wasn't asking anyone for money.
Yeah.
She'll date because she loves the person, not because she needs something. I'm not a so that's a lie.
That's a good one.
But if you date for hire in trouble.
Yeah.
So anything and everything that comes, when
you'll take anything. Yeah, you'll take anything.
Let's do right by our kids, man.
Okay. So what I wanted to know is what are you doing practically to make sure that you secure Kanyesa's future? And also, what are your dreams about her? You speak a lot about her, and we all know that you're very fond of her. She's your light, and just take us through. What are your dreams for her, and what do you practically do to make sure that you secure her future?
I think the best future that I can give my daughter is education. I don't think the main thing should be me handing over assets to her. Because if she doesn't know how to manage them, she's not going to be able to sustain. So the biggest thing for me, my daughter will tell you, ask me, look, we went out to have some lunch and she called, said, Daddy, I miss you. And I said to her, I'm in Limpopo doing It's More Than Just Man. She knows exactly what that is. And she will ask, how do you make money at It's More Than Just Man? And if you can't explain a simple model to a child, forget about it. Okay, baby, people come and they pay to attend and I make some money. Plus they buy the book. Oh, the book. Okay. Will I get sweets money if they buy more books? Yes. So at times you find I'm in the car, right? And maybe I'm with one of my colleagues or something and she's meeting her for the first time. Kanyesa will tell her about the book. You know why? Because she wants sweets money.
Yeah.
In her brain, people buying the book produces
More
sweets
sweets.
money.
Yeah.
So she's already started. She doesn't even know how much it is. She says it's 15 rand. Buy my daily book, it's 15 rand. Right? But for her, I'm attuning her thinking to be able to say, if you want something, sell something.
Yeah.
Right? And then whenever I go for viewings, I go with her. I remember I was with Muluko. We took our daughters on a viewing. The place was dirty, man. Because sometimes we look for rundown property, buy, redevelop. Okay. It was so dirty there. But I was like, Chief, we are taking these kids. They must see where this thing comes from. His daughter is his firstborn. My daughter is my firstborn. So I know that when I get married again, you asked the question, am I married? I'm not married. When I get married again and have more kids, I want them to have a smart, powerful big sister that can, if they are boys, she's going to be the matriarch of that new generation of people, where she can strategically show them how these things were started. And that model, I took it from one of my friend's parents. I had this wealthy friend of mine that I met in varsity, and his father built a big business. Like their business is big. They're doing work in Sri Lanka. They're everywhere. International, black dude. But what that man did, he developed his firstborn daughter. She's the CEO she's the group CEO.
Yeah.
Now, the father is the group chairman. And my friend is CEO of one company in the group. And his big brother who's a civil mining engineer, is a CEO of another company within the group.
Yeah.
But the main strategy for that father was to train the daughter. That was his focus.
Yeah. And the daughter just filters whatever was taught to her.
Yeah, she's in charge.
The siblings, yeah.
She's in charge. You think she's the man. That's how in charge she is.
Yeah.
The boys are taking instruction
Yeah.
from her. And that's leadership.
And the parents were intentional about it.
Yes, they were intentional.
Yes.
In fact, my friend tells me there used to be this brand called Score. Remember Score?
Score supermarket.
The father was buying the Scores here, the chain of Scores. And the kids used to work in the Score. And the sister, because she was the eldest, was the boss.
Yeah.
Understand? So certain things you realize, oh, okay, I must be practical in teaching my kids. Sometimes my daughter switches on the YouTube and calls my helper, Auntie, let's watch my dad on TV. And they watch the YouTube channel. What is it? You're conscientizing the child that we are a family of business people. But in fact, me, in any case, on both sides of my family, it's business people.
Yeah, you speak a lot about your grandmother.
She was a business person.
Yeah.
Even my grandfather was married to my actual grandfather on my mother's side. Right? Was a businessman. So for me, there's that consciousness to say there isn't anything that you can build and have influence if you don't get into business. Now, people always ask, why would you have a YouTube channel? I want influence.
Yeah.
I want to be able to reach certain spaces that I can't reach if I'm sitting in my house. I know there's a house somewhere, someone has a phone, someone has a TV, someone has a laptop. They've switched on their TV and they're watching our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We're influencing their thinking. But we can't influence that thinking there if I can't influence my own child.
Exactly. And come to think of it, our parents were always in business. It doesn't matter where you grew up, in the rural areas, in the township, there's always a trade going on. Even if the businesses were informal, but there has always been a culture of business amongst Black people. Yeah, so I think sometimes we get lost into we are not as experienced or we don't have that much experience in business. It is not true. There's always been money lending
I am a Shonisa, I remember my grandma.
You know,
Yeah.
there's always been money lending, subsistence farming, and selling the proceeds of whatever was produced in excess. So there's always been a culture of business amongst our families. So I think we can take that away, and we can be intentional into investing in the future generations to take the businesses to another level. Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We speak about the good things that happens in business, making money, building the businesses, creating legacies. But it comes a time where you run into trouble. You're running a property business, you're building your portfolio, or maybe you're just starting, you just bought a house for your family, you're just starting. What happens if you run into trouble? You lose your job, or the business is not generating any income, you're making a loss. What do you do? Can you give us practical ways of responding? Yes, let's respond to crisis.
Yeah, the mistake that a lot of people do when they reach crisis is to hold on and hope that the situation is going to change. So you bought this property, things were good, maybe you were employed, and then now perhaps you're no longer employed, or the business is no longer running the way it used to. The worst thing you can do is just wait. So one, obviously you can do Airbnb, for instance, if you know how to do that, but perhaps maybe the person doesn't know how to do that, and they're in trouble. Sell the property. Sell the property before your equity is taken away in repossession by the bank. Because I've seen people, I saw one lady, she's a friend of mine, we go to the same church. We're not friends, but let's say an acquaintance.
Yeah.
Right? She came to me a couple of years ago and said, my property is in trouble because I haven't been working for 2 years. And I said, sell it. But emotionally, she was attached.
She was attached to it, yeah.
And that's what we do. That's where the mistake is. And that's why I always say, I keep my emotions away from attaching to properties.
Yeah, you can't say this is a house for my children. I bought this for my children.
Yes. Oh, this is the first property I ever developed.
Yeah.
The properties I've sold, where I realized that if I don't sell it.
Abantu bazothini.
Yes, but you must be able to cut. The biggest skill in business is not always the growth. It's what to do in crisis.
Yeah.
Well, a leader is seen to be a leader when they respond well in crisis. Right? Because if you respond well when things are always okay, almost when you have got favorable conditions. But at times, things change in business. Markets change.
Yeah.
10 years ago, there was no Airbnb in South Africa. Now things have changed. There is. You need to be able to respond to that.
Yeah.
There are times where you realize, I personally don't do township property anymore. And I won't do it unless I'm putting up a mall or a shopping center when the time is right. Why do I not do it anymore? It's saturated.
Yeah.
I can see, it's saturated, and sometimes it's becoming dangerous. And this thing of being famous it's a disadvantage sometimes.
Yeah.
It looks good from the outside, but it's not entirely good. Because before, I can come in and out of the township and nobody cares. Right now, when it goes 5 o'clock, I know it's game over for me. I must leave the township. Why? Because now I'm WM. I'm no longer just witness.
Yeah.
So I know, I'm conscious. There's been a time where I was developing one of our properties in the township. And I was held at gunpoint. There on the site, somebody just came, they had guns, and they took laptops and they took money and whatever. So now I feel, obviously you must be strategic of where you go when people know who you are. Like I walk into the most boring thing? When people know you and you don't know them, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So everybody knows you and I don't know.
So hey, witness, and you're like, huh?
So now you must be conscious of where you are, where you operate, where you do business.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, but it's not because of that only. It's because I can see also that the market is saturated. So when the market is saturating, it's becoming full, you must operate in the market that is less saturated.
Yeah, there's less competition, then you can
I don't want
leverage,
competition. I want to dominate.
you can leverage, yeah. We spoke about trouble. One of the things that lead businesses into trouble is the lack of proper administration and creating proper systems to run a business. I remember I came to you a few years ago.
With your pie, she used to own Pie Cities, man. What was it?
King Pies.
Eh?
King Pies.
King Pies.
Yeah.
In Joburg, she made money. In Joburg CBD, you know how busy Joburg CBD is. She was selling pies. She had a Pie City there. 3, how many? 3.
2. I had 2. Yeah, and I said to you, I just acquired a business, but I had just came out of the corporate world and I had no clue how to manage the business. So, and I could foresee that if I didn't have any business literacy, then I wouldn't have made it. So I came to you, I said, Witness, this is the business that I've acquired. What do I do? So I remember you referred me to your accountant and you gave me practical ways of managing the business well from the word go. Yeah. So I want us to talk about how do we avoid just running a business, because the money will be coming in. You have a business account, you swipe your business account at Spare, you buy groceries. There's a whole lot of activity going on. What do you say to us? I've just bought, I have a property portfolio now. I have a lot of income coming in. How do I manage the business to make sure that I build a proper credit history?
Yeah.
Then I can grow the portfolio from there. You know how money is.
Yeah.
I
remember. Isn't that how we met?
Yes.
How we met.
Yes, that is how we met. Yeah.
And husband. Forget the bad divorce.
I thought I was going to ask you personal questions, but now it's more like...
So...
I
came with your then husband and I wasn't even popular then, man. I don't know how you guys found me, because you came to my office and we sat in our boardroom and we basically dissected your business that you had just bought it.
Yeah, you didn't charge us for the consultation.
I didn't charge. I was not aware yet that you can actually charge, but I've always had a heart for people, you know. And I think she also told me a story of her maiden name is Mdaka. Hey, what? I don't know if that was true or not. But
it is true. That is true, yeah.
Her maiden name is Mdaka. She was married to a Kumalo. Then they came. And I genuinely wanted to assist at that moment. And the biggest thing I said was follow the man. Your eye must always be on the cash. How it comes in, how it goes out of the business, and how you use it. And then we started to put systems in places to say, who's the manager of this one business? Who's the manager of that other business? Because that business, it's cash intensive.
Yes, very, very.
It's cash intensive.
Yeah.
And you also needed to manage how that cash is taken and banked.
Yeah.
At the time. And then
because we wanted to use that credit history to buy property.
Yes.
Investment property.
Yes.
So if you can show the bank that you have.
Yeah. So what a lot of people do, especially when they have cash businesses, you made 100 rands, then a person will take 20 rands and just buy bread again.
Yeah.
But it's just bread. And then that's where the chapter formalize your informal business actually comes from, to say, but everything that we make must go into the business account.
Yeah.
And then the family must earn an income from the business in the form of a salary. And that salary is what you will use to swipe bread and every other thing.
Yeah.
So I think our biggest task there was solving the business's administrative issues, because accounting is administration. So we had to say, okay, we need a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
Then we went to Marinda, and Marinda became the bookkeeper for the 2 stores.
Yeah.
And then that's how the cash was managed by that. And that's how you tell if you've got enough cash or not, right?
Exactly. And also to manage your taxes. Yes. As well. To manage your taxes is very important, because you see artists making a lot of money. A few years down the line, SARS comes and say, hey, but you owe us 10 million.
And the guy's like, how?
The guy's like, how? How do I owe?
I don't even have 10 million in the account. How do I owe you?
Yes, but you've been collecting revenue. You are not declaring to SARS. And SARS will always find you. So Yeah, so you just avoid the pitfalls like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you need the right team of people around you. I mentioned in the first session, I mentioned 3 things. I said admin or operations, they fall under the same thing. Then I mentioned marketing, and I mentioned technology, I think, or sales. I mentioned sales to say there must be an element of sales where the money is channeled to the business. And that sales or business, it must be managed. There must be administration there. And the operations to run the entire thing must be in place. Who's the manager? Who does the manager report to? Does he have line managers below him? Are they supervisors to other people who need to run certain functions? All of those things must be in place. Emma, this is a free masterclass, man.
It is.
Oh, Marika is paid.
Yeah. Okay. I think I've asked you what I would have liked to know. I want us now to go through the questions from the audience.
Okay.
I'm going to read them out, and you'll answer them. At the end, we'll take 2 from the floor to add on this to make it more interactive.
Questions.
Yeah, I've asked most of what I wanted to ask here. And okay, there's a question here. It says, is a bond house an investment? If not, how can I turn it into an investment? This is a good one.
I feel like this question is over-exhausted. You know why? There was a debate online between me and Robert Kiyosaki's followers. Because those guys were saying a primary home or a home where you have a bond is not an investment. Let me tell you something, right? When you take a bond, the bank's asset in that bond is not the house, like people say, or the house is the asset of the bank. No. The bank's asset is the loan. That's the asset. And the loan is a liability to you. And then the property is yours. That's why they only take it if you are unable to pay. But as long as you are paying the loan, the property is yours. You control it. You can rezone it. As soon as you rezone it, the value of the property goes up. So let's say you bought a piece of land here in Flora Park, right? It's got 1,000 square meters. You've got a house there. And you rezone that house into a lodge. The value of that property goes up because of the rights on that property. Right? As soon as the rights on that property go up, you can even go back to the bank and do a refinancing structure and take the equity out. I bought it 1 million, is now worth 1.6 million because it's got rights. You take that money out, you build more units or you renovate that house so that it's a proper lodge.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
All of that uptake in terms of the equity being built or the capital gains being built on that property belongs to you, the person who took a bond on that property. So if your bond is 1 million and the house is now worth 2 million and you are selling the house, what you are settling the bond.
Yeah.
The rest of the 1 million belongs to you because you've put value on the property. So hence, you buy land. After buying land, what you want to do? You want to put value on the land.
Yeah, sometimes you can even sell the land. Some of the land is, you can sell it as a cemetery. Some of the
You're reminding me of this one.
So yeah, you don't have to build on the land.
On the land. So
Yeah.
that guy bought a large piece of land in the valley, acres and acres of land, and dug 12,000 graves on it. And then they made it nice like a memorial park. Obviously, it's a memorial park. And then sold each grave for 5,000 to an insurance company. To say, your people that are in the valley, that have life cover and funeral cover with you, you can promise them they have a resting place in a proper memorial park.
Yeah.
And because he had influence in that space, they gave him 5,000 rands. Do 5,000 rands times 12,000, that's 60 million. Everything on that land cost him 7 million to do. But because he had imagine grave as value. By digging, he added value to that land. By creating a nice park around those graves, he added value. 5,000 times 12,000, it's 60 million.
Minus 7 million.
and minus 7 million. 60 million minus 7 million is 53 million. And on a monthly basis, he gets management for that cemetery because it must be looked after. So they've set up a management company to manage the cemetery. Cemetery, I didn't say house, I said cemetery. Mabita. When we say, someone saw the opportunity to say, who's my target market? My target market obviously is these people that are going to die one day. However, they won't pay for your grave, this one. But the insurance company, to give them bid, can
Will pay for it.
She's from Old Mutual, right? So if she had also the promise of a grave in the Good Memorial Park, wouldn't you take it?
Yeah, I want to be buried like Mandela.
I'm being buried like Mandela, yes. The Four Ways Memorial Park, you know how much is a grave at Four Ways? 38,000. Where you see one Mandela who is being buried, a grave is 38,000. And well, it depends where the grave is situated. Some are more. I imagine being buried next to Mandela, what you gonna pay? But Mandela was buried in Kunu, was it not? But the point I'm making, celebrities that you see saying they're being buried at Four Ways Memorial Park. I remember one friend of mine, his sister was wealthy, and she passed on. And he paid 38,000.
Yeah, and some families even purchase the burial space for the whole family.
Space and say, this is where the family mom will be buried. So they own those graves. You can make money in anything, yo.
Okay, the other question is, when can one apply for refinancing after purchasing the first property?
As soon as you've got a tenant that's paying you for about 3 to 6 months, you can refinance. But remember, refinancing most of the time, what are you doing when you refinance? You are taking out maybe a deposit that you've paid. Let's say you bought a property and you put a deposit of 10%. You bought the property 500K, your deposit was 50K. So you've got 50,000 rands equity immediately. Okay? And then maybe it goes up in value by 20,000. Then it means your total equity that's 70,000. So then you can refinance and get that money out. So within 3 to 6 months, you can refinance. So that's what investors do. What we do is we get the property and we gather investors to invest with us in the property. And then after 6 months, we refinance and pay back the investors their money with interest. And we face the institution head on to rebuild the equity that we've taken out of the property.
Okay, that's good information. Gone are those days where becoming rich was a secret.
That's what it is. Even if you tell them, some of them won't apply it. They'll still say, this one thinks he knows too much.
Yeah. Okay, the other question is, I have 15 questions here. I don't think we'll be able to go.
Ask me, go for permission.
I don't think we'll be able to go through all of them. This one, I think you did answer it during your presentation. It says, what is the disadvantage of buying properties cash? You did answer that one. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. This one, what made witness start investing into property? And so far, how can... we already answered this one.
What made me invest in property?
Yeah.
Let me just answer it quick.
Because I know it is in one of your podcasts, it is on your social media profile, you speak about it a lot.
Yeah, so keep a team, work with team.
If somebody follows you, they will know this.
Read the book.
Yeah.
Buy the book and read it, yeah. It's a good one. Then you go, what do you think? Yeah, you go once a salary on Monday, buy the book.
Okay, this one says, which right channel to go for funding?
Right channel to go for funding. That different.
Yeah, like to look for funding, I think.
It's the traditional banks and then there's the non-traditional financial institutions like the NHFC, like GPF, if you're in Gauteng, the Gauteng Property Fund or Gauteng Partnership Fund. NHFC is National Housing Finance Corporation. You can go to the NEF, National Empowerment Fund. All of those institutions, they exist to help you invest and build institutions, be it in property or in business. The DTI as well assists with that. And I think within every province, there's the local funders,
Yeah.
Bosida and all of them.
And the only thing with those funders is there's a lot of paperwork that you have to do. So most people most people get discouraged at what I need to submit.
If you can't do the paperwork, right? Find someone who knows how to do the paperwork and let them do the paperwork for you. There are people who are offering their services. The problem is that sometimes as Mdaka, we don't want to pay.
Yeah.
You go to a guy, you say, help me fill out a business plan. You are going to get funded 12 million, but you don't want to pay me 5,000 rands per hour to do your business plan.
And make it compliant. Because,
so you want a guy to help you for free so that you can make money. But you want to, he said, let's learn to pay for stuff.
Yeah. I think I will read the last question, then we'll take 2 from the floor. This one is a good one. It says, I want to develop a property for family unit rentals at an area close to a mall, hospital and university, but under tribal authority. Can I save to develop it or must I get a personal loan? Very interesting. Can I save to develop it or must I get a personal loan?
I don't know. I'm not a financial advisor. Wait, the reason I answer like that, it says, can I save to develop it or can I get a personal loan? That's a personal decision. Personal, nah. I can do anything that makes financial sense for me to build my portfolio. But I cannot tell another person whether or not they must get a loan. But what I know is that if I've got a portfolio or a project that I want to do, I'll do whatever it takes as long as it makes financial sense. Personal loans have got high interest rates, for instance. So if the project can absorb those interest rates and the amount of interest you'll be paying on those loans, I mean, it's up to you. If it makes sense, do it. If it doesn't make sense, don't do it. So tomorrow you mustn't say, hey, you said I must do it.
Yeah.
Everybody has got a personal decision. Saving the money will take you longer. Or you can partner with other investors. What is this obsession about doing things on your own?
Yeah.
Like I feel like as Batunen, we don't apply leverage. You know, having a partner is leverage.
It is.
Someone who's going to think, they share your problems.
Yeah.
So if you choose that person properly, what's bothering you, it's bothering them.
Yeah, just make sure the partner is married out of community of property.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good one.
Just a side note. Just a side note.
Okay, but make sure the partner is married out of community. So it just means if anything happens to the business, the partner and his wife will be affected.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can take 2 questions from the floor. And then we can wrap up.
Yeah, we can take 2 questions from the floor, then wrap up, and I'll sign the books. We'll take some pictures. And then, thank you for coming, guys. It's more than just money.
Yeah. Do we have the mic?
Good.
Let me just send that where you changes that in this box.
Duelang. My name is Patricia and I'm grateful to be here. I just want to ask this question. Your advice to buy a land, is it advisable to buy it like through agency? Or just to go to the deed registry, find out which land is vacant? Because which one is best?
It's neither here nor there. Because you can have good land available being sold by an agent. In fact, an agent will be the right person. Yes, because they are registered with the estate agency affairs board. So if anything happens, you can hold them accountable and they can lose their license.
They're not ripping us off?
No. They're not. They're representing the sale. An agent is representing the seller, not you.
Okay. Let me ask.
They're selling on behalf of the seller. It's I have land now. I want to sell it. I appoint Nomsa as an agent. Nomsa will charge commission. So whatever price you pay, I'm the one paying the commission. That's the sale.
Okay, thank you. I'm asking this because, let me just put it straight. There was a land that we want to buy and they told us example, it's 10 million and they say you're going to pay only 80%. The 20% is a lease. The land is yours, you get the title deeds, but you are leasing it until the owner is ready to release the land. That's the agent. So I thought this agent a scam or something. That's why I'm asking that.
I know that one doesn't make sense.
It's a scam. It's a reputable agency that I was working with. So I had my doubts.
Then remember, this property game, right?
Yes.
Also, it might not be a scam.
Okay.
It might be the way they wanted to structure it.
It might be a condition of the seller.
Yes. The seller might have said, I want to sell it as a leasehold. There's a leasehold, there's a full title stand. A leasehold is what you have in Waterfall. No, Waterfall, all of Africa.
Yes.
That entire piece of land is a leasehold.
Okay.
You have a 100-year lease on the land.
Like Mapunya Mall.
And you must renew it. You understand? So most houses there, they're under the 100-year lease, but it doesn't mean it's a rip-off. It just means it's a different right holdership over the property. It's a leasehold.
So you're paying a lease amount every month and it's going to increase?
No, you don't pay every month at least amount. You pay one. It's in the purchase price.
Yeah, the one that I got here, it was different. So I wanted to
You must call people like us when you so that he can charge you.
Little advice.
And you can get an attorney, by the way, to check. Always have an attorney. Guys, we need family lawyers, okay? To help us with family law. We need family lawyers to help us with the family's commercial activities. We recently interviewed my family lawyer. Remember, the lady is my family lawyer. That their role is to make sure that my will is proper, my trusts are proper, my company documents are proper, and my family is well taken care of.
You will help you.
And if there's litigation against my family, she can recommend an attorney. And there's something else that we're dealing with in Alexander with one of my family members' property there. I had to get a different attorney to administer that.
Okay.
Because that attorney is good at that thing.
Okay.
So with anything that you're doing, as long as it involves the law, it involves property, always have advisors around you. The wisest people you will find is the people who are surrounded by good advisors around them. And the ones who are making mistakes and investing fair, it's those ones who don't have anyone saying, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
You need people that are going to mentor you, coach you, advise you, but you also need people who are going to give you professional advice.
Yes.
That's why when the financial advice matter, I called someone who deals with financial advice. It's a registered financial advisor. I don't give financial advice to them. I go to police.
No, thank you so much. Thank you.
We can take the next one. One last question. You can come through.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Mauli. Actually, my question was already answered. I wanted to ask about using personal loans and bank overdrafts to fund your development, building because I'm building some apartments. I wanted to know whether it's a good idea to use personal loans or overdrafts. But since my question is already answered, I'm going to use this opportunity to just market myself. I'm into I run a brickyard in Turfloop. So just outside Polokwane on the way to Turfloop, if nobody, I've got a brickyard. So if you need bricks or paving or anything like that, you can, I don't know if you've seen it, if you've been around that side, Brick and Pave City. So that's what I do. I also use my own bricks to build my own apartments. My family is also into property and so on. So if you're interested, you need bricks, you can
run bricks on consignment.
We don't really do. There's people who have tenders who come to us, but we don't really do sessions or anything like that because we have some bad experiences when it comes to that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a mic? Okay. Yeah, I think we can wrap it up. This has been a very interactive session, I must say. And thank you very much for attending. I'll just give a witness to conclude.
To close.
Yeah. Just,
My voice is loud. Ne? Am I loud or you're soft spoken?
I've never seen a Mdaka who's not loud.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for attending the It's More Than Just Money Business and Property Seminar. If you are interested in our mentorship, please WhatsApp our office and get in touch. So we usually run it for about, it's 50,000 per annum, but we're running a special now, which is 35,000 per annum. We've got a payment plan, and in that 12 months, it's basically hiring me to be the brains behind your business and working with you for 12 months, right? It's basically you paying me with 3.1 per month if you break it down on a monthly basis, right? To be able to do those calls together, those viewings together, any property development that you have, we do it together. We have access to our professional teams of engineers, quantity surveyors, attorneys, conveyancers. The entire team will help you build your property investment portfolio and also get involved in your business and help you scale. Any sort of strategic advice that you would need, you can have us on board and we can bounce off ideas. We also do consultations. My usual consultations is 5,000 rands per hour. But because you guys have enjoyed attended the It's More Than Just Money Business and Property Seminar, we can do that at 2.5. And then, get in touch with the team. We'll be having a masterclass on Thursday for the VIP people that paid for the VIP ticket. If you want to join that masterclass as well, you can top up on your ticket and join the masterclass. You can speak to the ladies at the back. And there's a variety. There'll be a document that they send to you when you inquire that covers all the information about the different trainings that we have in property, and as well as how you can be able to access me. Maybe perhaps you don't want to be part of the mentorship. You just want consultation for a specific project that you're working on. Get in touch. Let's do it. I'm here to work with you, but obviously I cannot help you make money while I'm not making money from you. You understand? So we work together in that sense. If you're going to ask for questions that are related to money making, you must be willing to pay for that. Because you can see we've got young people that are working for our organization. They also have families to feed. They also have families to take care of. So that's how we generate income for the movement, for the It's More Than Just Money. When we started this movement, our property company used to pay 100% for everything that we do. So that was our sponsor. Because people used to ask me, where do you get the sponsor? No, I've got a property company, it pays for this. But now, you guys pay for it by buying the book, by watching the YouTube channel, by buying tickets, by doing mentorship, by doing those one-on-one sessions with me. You're actually paying and ensuring that this can run independent of any other business. And for that, thank you so much. And if you're watching from YouTube, thank you so much for watching. From me to you, I say it's more than just money. We'll see you guys in the next round of It's More Than Just Money. Polokwane. Ciao.